Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Live Logs U here, along with T. Lindstrom. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty thing going on. we couldn't see T at all.
I'm streaming off my phone right now.
Crazy, like, what do they call that? White noise, green noise in your case?
That was brutal. I'm rattled.
You made us late, dude. Like 8 minutes late.
I'm rattled. I don't know how I'm going to recover from this.
Man, it's been
my God.
3 weeks since we've been on.
It's been too long. You've been on vacation for the last month, it feels like.
Dude, it did feel like that. Then you were on vacation for a weekend before I left.
2 days.
You were only gone 2 days?
It was like 3 days. I got there Friday night, left Monday afternoon. So, I mean, it was just a extended weekend, really, is all it was. Not even an extended weekend. I didn't get to work that Friday, but it was just Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's a quick trip to Vegas and back.
Yeah, mine was a lot longer than that.
Especially when you got a 5-hour flight. We took Baltimore.
Oh, that's not too bad.
No, it's nice because Southwest was never flying direct to Vegas, and now they do, so that's good.
Southwest saved my ass. So I don't know if I even told you. So we were down. We were supposed to come home Monday. And we get to the airport. It's a connecting flight. I'm like, all right, let's get there. So we get like a notification that the flight's delayed like 20 minutes. No big deal. Still got like 40 minutes to get our connecting flight, and it's supposed to be right next to the gate. Get to the airport, wait in line for 20 minutes while they're boarding, right? So we're in line while they're boarding. I'm like, dude, they need to like pick the pace up. Get on the plane. I'm looking at my watch. I'm like, dude, it's going to be close. Like, it's going to be cut real close. We're on the airplane, and he goes, it's going to be like another half hour. And I'm like, fuck you mean it's going to be another half hour? Like, we're going to miss our flight. I'm not getting stuck in Dallas. So I went up, nothing against Dallas, just don't want to be there.
No, a ton of stuff against Dallas. Fuck Dallas. Fuck the Cowboys.
Well, yeah, nobody likes Cowboys. So I'm like, I look at my wife. She's sitting next to me. I'm like, you just want to get off the plane? She goes, what do you mean? I was like, we're not going to make our connecting flight. We're going to have to stay in Dallas. I was like, I'd rather just get off the plane, stay another night here in Vegas.
Yeah.
So I went to the flight attendant. I was like, hey, I'm getting off this plane. She goes, well, you can't get off. We're, taking off. I said, you're taking off in like a half hour. Let me off. Yeah. So they're like, well, I have to check. So they checked, and they're like, yeah, you can go ahead and get off. And then I get off, and long story short, they end up giving me a freaking voucher. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I had to get a ticket for another airline to get me home the next day because there was like no good flights going out. So we stayed another night in Vegas, which was fun. Didn't sleep at all. Literally stayed up the whole night. I think I slept for 20 minutes, a little power nap. Went to the airport. I was still drunk. Get there an hour early. I'm just sitting here in the chair, just sleeping, just waiting for the flight. It was brutal.
Where'd you spend most of your time at in Vegas?
I mean, we did a lot of different things. We went to different restaurants, things like that. But I mean, we pretty much hung out at our hotel. We stayed at the Aria, which is also. I spent probably too much money, so they comped some stuff. Well, nice. I was there, so it was a good time. We had a really good time. Really enjoyed it. It was nice to get away and all that kind of stuff.
Vegas is nice. Especially, I didn't think I'd have as much fun as I did going with just a girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like the first time I went, it was I just won all that money. We went to Vegas. We were stupid, me and a bunch of my boys. And this time, like actually like walking around, going to nice places, but still like we were drinking the entire time, meeting other people. I saw a
Yeah.
different side of Vegas that I really, really liked.
Yeah, I mean, I've been with my
Yeah, it was a
brother
good time.
buddies and stuff like that, and it's a lot different when you
Mhm.
go with your spouse or significant other or something like that. But I mean, yeah, we had a good time.
Yep.
We got to hang out and did a lot of gambling. She actually won. I think I posted on the app. She won like $5 grand one night and let it
I
ride.
didn't know that.
Dude, I came
That's
over like
awesome.
all hyped up, right? And I'm a blackjack guy when I'm at the tables. I just play basic strategy, and usually you can play all night.
Mhm.
Follow basic strategy. So I'm up like $400, right? And I'm only playing, $25 minimums. So I'm like, I'm up $400. Yeah, I've been playing for like 3 hours, just kind of chilling and drinking. I go over to tell her, I'm all proud of myself. I'm like, hey, babe, I'm up $400. She goes, I'm up $3 grand. I was like,
That's
the fuck you are? Like, get out of here. She's like, no, I really am. So she like pulls out her purse and she pulls out these like $1,000 chips. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
that's
Like,
amazing.
really? So she had $1,000 chips, and then she had a stack of hundreds. But I guess she was playing Let It Ride, which is basically 5 card poker. And they
Okay.
give you 3 cards. They put 2 face down. She got 2 jacks in her hand. Both cards that were face down were jacks, so she hit 4 of a kind.
Oh, that's pretty tasty.
Don't recommend that game because you usually can't freaking win on it. But I mean,
What color are the $1,000 chips?
Aria, they were yellow and like purple.
Jesus, that's pretty
I
cool. I think I've
never
ever seen one of
them
those.
before. So I finished up like I think $700, $800 in blackjack for the weekend. I was all pumped. Yeah, she wiped me away.
Man, you guys are nuts. I lost like $85 in blackjack and was like, screw that. I'm not going anywhere near those tables anymore.
It's a strategy, bro. You got to follow basic strategy.
I did, and like lost in 4 hands. I was like, this is a scam. I'm out. I didn't even get like one drink in yet. I lost so quick that I had to stand up next to the table and wait for the waitress.
Wait for your
Like,
drink.
yeah, well, because she came over, so I was like, yeah, I'll take it. I don't know what the hell I got. Probably Captain and Coke, or Captain and Sprite. And I was sitting there waiting for it, and I lose. So then I'm like, oh, this is awkward. Do I still get a free drink? And the guy's like, yeah, just wait there if you want. I'm like, this sucks.
Where'd you say? You said MGM, right?
MGM, yeah, it was good.
Yeah, and there's a lot of nice casinos, dude. It's a good time.
There are. The win is just, that'll always be my favorite. The win is just unbelievable.
Man, it's dope. Man, it's expensive, dude.
It is. Real quick, this week, no high seas. We got the Mott's apple juice this week. Unfortunately, we're out of the lava burst, but we're going to go apple juice this week.
Hey, could this be any more appropriate?
What do you bet?
Man, you can't see with the glare.
It looks like a Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Arnold Palmer, bro. Let's go.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's my go-to all the time. Dude, while we're gone, Julio Jones to the Titans. What's up?
Yeah, the bigger story there, I think, is A.J. Brown, right?
Yeah.
What's that do for A.J. Brown? I mean, people had him pegged in the second round. I don't know if you can still do that.
So I think Jada and I were talking about that a little bit ago, and I mean, obviously, for most people that don't know, I'm a big Bengals fan, but the Titans have always been kind of my team too since I was like 9. So I actually love the move. Obviously, I think Julio's, it's a little past his prime. He's still got plenty of gas in the tank. I think people are kind of thinking he's done. I don't see that.
I don't think he's done.
He's struggled to score. I know that, but
he's still top 5 deep threat in the NBA. Harden's playing tonight. Nice.
Yeah,
or I'm sorry, I definitely just said the NBA, the NFL.
Yeah, so I saw that and I got all hyped up, right? Being a Titans fan, I think it's great for AJ Brown. I think it kind of gives one. Corey Davis had a good resurgence last year, but at the same time, I mean, he's just the deep threat. Like all you can really got from Corey Davis last year. He stretches the field. He's done that. He's got there, but he's not. To me, was never a huge threat. Even despite stepping up last year and doing a really good job. I think bringing in Julio Jones kind of opens the field a little bit more because you already got Derrick Henry there, who's a fucking man child, right? So you already kind of got teams stacking the box against him. You saw when they played Green Bay stacked the box, kind of took AJ away with Jair Alexander, and then Corey Davis wasn't much of a threat anyway. So I think that kind of helps. You're not going to be able to keep 6, 7 guys in the box as much as you would, because now you not only do you have AJ Brown, who's my opinion an absolute stud. I love AJ Brown. You also now have Julio Jones on the opposite side, so you can't double one. You can't stack the box with Henry. I think it accelerates their offense in a big way. And now I heard today they're thinking about getting Ertz. So I don't know if you saw that.
Did they? I was just about to ask, who is their tight end? Because I know Jonnu Smith went to New England.
Yep,
I was going to argue, if you're looking as far as fantasy, just pure value, you're going to have to take A.J. Brown the second, Julio probably third, fourth. Henry's a top 5 pick. Who's the real winner here? Where's the real value? The tight end position. Because whoever played tight end for them, I thought it was going to be Jonnu Smith. He's in New England now. I think Ertz would be a great fit for them. And then all of a sudden you can get him at the end of your drafts. And I think whoever's going to be playing tight end for the Tennessee Titans is going to have a huge opportunity this year.
So they still have Ferkser. I know he's on there.
He's a bum.
Yeah, he's not very good. I mean, his value will increase if he's the starter.
I'm surprised they didn't pay Jonnu. I mean, I guess New England came in with a ridiculous offer, but
the real winner's Kyle Pitts. I actually
Calvin Ridley
agree with that.
Yeah.
And here's why. It's kind of the same reason I think things open up for A.J. Brown and Derrick Henry with Julio being there. I think that actually kind of hurts Kyle Pitts in a way. Now, I still think Kyle Pitts is going to be a stud. But I just think that presence of Julio Jones missing, you got Calvin Ridley, who I love. But that's going to hurt his value as well because you don't have that opposite guy, on the other side of the field to kind of take that pressure off and take that pressure away. That's one reason I think we talked a few weeks ago that I like Hopkins much more this year. I always love Nuke, but he's got A.J. Green over there. Why A.J. Green's a little washed, he's still A.J. Green. He's still on that side of the field, and he's still taking pressure off of the other side, right? So you got Pitts, who's a matchup nightmare. But I get what you're saying, but I think that actually hurts Pitts' value just a little bit there, Dan.
And there's been plenty of games the last 2 years that the Falcons have been without Julio Jones. Be very interested to see Calvin Ridley's numbers in those games. He was a guy whose props I would catch props would be looking at all year. And I know he would hit majority of the time, but there was a couple weeks there where I believe he had a 2-catch week, but then followed up with like a 13-catch week. So I'd be interested to kind of see the numbers without Julio for him. Did he?
Yep.
That's pretty hard to do.
I needed 1 point going into that Monday night game.
I remember that. I remember you telling me that.
Which would have took me to my playoffs, which I would have won the championship game. That's
hilarious. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was like the only big news I think that happened while we were gone, right?
Aaron Rodgers-ish still.
Dude, I'm so done with him. He's such a just self piece of garbage. Man, dude, he's a great quarterback, and he's one of the greatest quarterbacks I've ever seen. But dude, he's just like everything's got to be about this guy. He's got to be the attention and everything. Man, drives me nuts.
Oh, I put my wrong Twitter post. Yeah, that's most quarterbacks, though, don't you think?
I mean, yeah, some, but a lot of them just kind of keep quiet and keep to themselves. Some of them,
that's true. I guess like Brady and them.
Like he picks moments to start shit. Like right before the draft, it just comes out that he's unhappy, right? So it's like he just kind of picks his moments to get pissed off and start whining about shit. He drives me nuts.
Yeah, that's true. He's having like a spiritual moment now in Hawaii with Miles Teller.
Is he still in Hawaii? I saw that.
I don't think so, but he's in the mountains like every time he posts on the internet, or he's got like a man bun.
What's going on with Watson? Anything new on that?
No, but I think if we're going to talk fantasy-wise, in my rankings, I think I put him dead last, which is probably dumb because he'd be worth taking just even the 15th spot if he does play. So that's really my only thoughts on Watson.
Oh, God, if he does play, he's a top 5 guy.
Right, but I mean, even just taking the shot of not knowing he's going to play or not.
Draft, right, because if you're drafting right now,
you're
not taking. If you're waiting to draft until closer to the season starts, I always like to do any league I run. I always do it like after preseason.
Mm-hmm.
I usually always do it Labor Day.
Week 4, yeah.
Yeah, so I usually do it that Sunday, and then you got the first week starts on Monday. That's usually when I do mine.
It cannot happen before week 3 of the preseason or week 3 of the it cannot happen before
Yeah,
then.
there's plenty of people that's like, hey, we're doing drafts already. I'm like, dude, you're crazy. I'm not.
That's
I'm not.
insane. Isn't there only 3 weeks of the preseason this year, though?
Yeah, I think so.
Because they got the extra game.
Yeah.
Smart. Smart.
Yeah, I'm talking some fantasy today, but I'm completely unprepared. So
No, that's all right. Because I don't know when my phone's going to die. I didn't think I had to charge my phone for this shit.
God, you're a disaster, dude.
And I got my headphones plugged into the phone, so who knows what's going to happen.
Did you drop your camera or something?
No, it's coming clear on my screen, so I don't understand why it wasn't coming good on yours. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
But it's got to be mine because now we're coming in. You can see me fine on this, right?
Yeah. I see you fine now.
Yeah, it's disappointing. I don't know what that is. But let's get into the ball.
U.S. Open time. I will be completely honest. I'm not as prepared as I wanted to be. Being gone for 11 days, I've had so much shit to catch up on. It's been ridiculous. I do have quite a few names, though. But actually, I don't know if you even saw this. So I was looking like 2 days ago, and I just found the article again to bring it up because I found some stuff interesting. It was like on PGAtour.com, and it was like 9 things about Torrey Pines. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah. So apparently, it was a military training camp at one point.
That makes sense because it's in San Diego.
Camp Callan opened on what is now Torrey Pines Golf Course in 1941, just prior to the Pearl Harbor invasion. It was used for anti-aircraft artillery replenishment. Roughly 15,000 people lived on site.
Huh.
So that was interesting. It was built by a father-son team. And then, yeah, that's about. I saw that a couple of things like that were kind of interesting. So,
right, some more little notes on more prevalent notes to this year. It's in San Diego, like we mentioned. Farmers Insurance Open is usually played at Torrey Pines every single year. We see it played on 2 separate courses, though, North Course and South Course. The North Course gets 1 round, one Friday or Saturday. Or I'm sorry, Thursday, Friday, the players play it. And then the weekend rounds are at the South Course. This weekend, they're going to have all 4 rounds at the South Course. Yeah. It's usually par 72. They're playing at a par 71 this week. They turned 6 into a par 4. May get a lot of Chris. Yes, so they made 4, or they made 6 into a par 4. A lot of people thought 18 would be the hole that was switched over to the par 4. Do I need to take my own notes?
We'll post them up tomorrow,
and it'll be clipped up on our Twitter pages and all that good stuff. So you can go in and rewind and we'll fast forward all that good stuff.
Usually,
but yes, write this shit down.
Most of the time, him and I, this is the first time we really talked about the U.S. Open because like I said, I've been so busy. Usually we already got all of our plays kind of lined up in our shared notes, and I already got the graphic ready and all that kind of stuff. I have not done any of that shit yet, and I'll do it tonight, tomorrow morning, get it up. So yeah, it'll be up on Book It tomorrow afternoon at the latest, I'd say.
Cool. A lot of people are thinking 18 would be switched to the par 4. However, they're going to want to keep those fireworks at 18. You can reach that hole in 2. It's playing 568 yards compared to the other 2 par 5s are over 600 yards, which means you're not going to get many guys going for it at 2, right? So that somewhat takes the Bombers out of it almost a little bit on those par 5s, right? Because most people, regardless, especially if you don't hit the fairway, which is going to be tough regardless, you're not going to be able to get there in 2. It's going to take all 360-some yards to be able to realistically have a 260, 250-yard shot in, which is they usually don't push it over those numbers there. If you remember in 2008, Tiger and Rocco in the playoff, Tiger birdied 18, about a 9-footer on the right side of the pin. He actually hit a terrible tee shot, I believe in the sand, hit his second into the right rough, was able to dig it out of that rough to get it to about 9 or 10 feet to the right of the pin high, drain the putt on the edge. So they're not going to miss out on that opportunity this year.
The greatest performance you will ever see in your entire life.
It is, especially because then the next day in the playoff, he went into 18 against Rocco down again. He was down a stroke going into 18. They play a full 18 playoff. And he was down 1 on 18. Rocco made par. He made birdie. And then I believe he won it on the first playoff hole. I could be wrong. It was either the first or second, but he made quick work of Rocco after that.
And that's one thing that kind of sets everything apart with this tournament, too. I believe this is the only major that has an 18-hole playoff.
It is. It is. And I would be lying to you if I said that's a set thing every year. I don't know if that is. I don't know if that's still a rule with the U.S. Open or USGA. It could very well be a 1-hole playoff. It could be a 3-hole aggregate. It could be the 18, which would be my bet, but I'm not 100%
It's been
sure.
18, unless they've changed it within the last year or two. It's been 18, I think, as long as I can remember.
I don't like that, if I'm being honest with you. I think the sudden death's electric.
I agree, because there's so much that can go wrong. But at the same time, you got to stay
It's a whole
focused.
another day.
Holes, yeah, especially Tiger doing it on one leg, like going 18 more holes on one leg.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was impressive. So recap real quick. So I kept a spreadsheet since I got verified on Book It. I'm kind of redoing the website a little bit. Hopefully, you'll have it done, by next week. Just because I got so much shit going on, I'm trying to find some time. So we've put your picks in there. Got everything tracked from when I started working together. So we're at total since week 9, which is when I was verified, 63 units in golf over the year, which is pretty damn good. Like we've cashed a little bit. The majors we haven't lost any on the majors, but let's see, we won 2.5 on the Masters, 2.59, and then 7.17 on the PGA, which we thought we did fucking awful on, but we still ended up winning on it.
Mm-hmm. Missing the winners on the majors, which are usually the easier tournaments to hit the winners on, and still coming out profit is a wildly encouraging thing.
Yeah, we're
but
definitely
real quick. Shout out Billy Horschel, shout out Sam Burns, shout out Justin Thomas, shout out Colin Morikawa, shout out Jason Kokrak, because those are the outrights that have absolutely separated ourselves. Specifically, Billy Ho, Sam Burns, and Kokrak.
Dude, your connection is so bad.
Did I just miss? Was I in and out there?
No, I mean, you're just kind of breaking up just a little bit. But, I mean,
damn,
your Wi-Fi sucks.
Hang on a second.
Oh, you're all good, bro.
Yeah, no, I've got a good connection. It says.
Yeah. You just break it up a little bit so people get some good screen grabs of you. Just randomly frozen in time.
Hopefully, at least I don't care if the picture is going in and out a little bit, but as long as my voice is clear, I'm hoping.
Yeah, your voice. I mean, it breaks up a bit, but we're good. Just fix your shit for next time.
I don't know what's wrong with the camera. Maybe I should have tested it earlier than 2 minutes before we went, but it worked the last time. Fine.
All right, so let's dive into, I guess, the most logical spot would be top 20s, right? So, like I said, I didn't have as much time to prepare as I'd like, but I do have a good list of names here. And like I said, usually you and I have kind of already collabed and figure out who we're on, so everybody's going to kind of get kind of a live look at maybe me and you arguing or figuring out where we're going things. So value-wise, I got all my numbers here off Heritage, because my book usually sucks. So I'm going to, I always do majors and stuff on Heritage. So we'll go with those odds because those are usually pretty close. And usually, for those of you that are joining us or new to betting on golf, we say this pretty much every time we're on. There's probably going to be a lot of units invested. Don't let that discourage you because there's a reason for that. We're going to take long shots on winners, things like that. We're going to invest in top 10s, top 20s. That's where we've made most of our money. I think we usually been doing like a quarter unit, half unit, depending on what we like for the winners. So the units can build up, but it's golf's kind of one of those. You invest a lot of units, you take your long shots. You don't worry about your record. You're just strictly here for profit and making money, right? So that being said, one obvious fade for me at top 20 is John Rahm. I love John Rahm in this tournament, but I'm not paying $250 on him. There's no value there, right? I think you would probably agree with that.
Yeah, I don't think I would ever take a golfer to finish in a specific position that isn't plus money, if that makes sense. I would never take to finish top 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 if that person's minus money. The just value doesn't exist there. You can't do it. You're almost put in a position with Rahm's odds to where if you're like, yeah, you want to throw a bet in just to give yourself somebody that you hope's going to be around the weekend and you got something to sweat, I can see that being the guy. But if you're somebody who's investing in this every single week like you and I are, taking guys at 10.50, 10.5 to 1, 11 to 1 in this kind of field is just not the way to go. However, I'm obsessed with John Rahm, and I already have a future on John Rahm, so I'm kind of in that boat.
I do like John Rahm a lot here. Not top 20. So real quick, let's actually circle back. We talked about Torrey Pines a little bit. For those of you guys that don't know, and I just remember Torrey Pines so well because I remember that Tiger 2008 finish. One thing Torrey's known for is the rough, heavy rough, right? And you got to be able to putt. I think that's probably the two biggest. What word I want to use? Maybe two biggest
statistics.
Factors. Yeah, two biggest factors, stats, or whatever you want to call them.
Metrics.
Used for this, metrics to use for this tournament. So that's going to kind of fade you away from guys that aren't very good at putting or, don't have great ball striking.
The two main metrics you're going to look for at Torrey Pines, just like you literally hit it on the nail, driving accuracy, because you got to be in the fairway, right? And then strokes gained putting. This is the second most important course where strokes gained putting matters, right? So what I mean by that is I believe it was Memorial, right? So at that tournament, your two main metrics, again, were, I believe, scrambling and also strokes gained putting. But Memorial's like the 30th most important course as far as strokes gained putting. It's something like that. This one's actually second. So putting is a big, big deal. And guys who can play out of the rough, which I have those numbers as well, and they're absolutely factored into the picks. Those are the two stats you're looking for. You hit a home run.
Daniel's got Rahm at minus 165, top 20. Those are better odds than what I got on Heritage, man. I'd still fade that. I mean, that's just like T was saying. I'll take some minus money if it's like minus 120. I think that's probably my floor. I've taken Finau and Colin. I've hammered some. Like if I think with the Masters, I think I had 2 units on Finau, and I think he was minus 115, minus 120 for a top 20 or something like that. So that minus 165, man. I mean, yeah, it's John Rahm, and he's one of the bigger favorites in this tournament. I have a sneaky suspicion he might be one of T's favorites. But at the same time, it's golf, dude. And in golf, it's not hard to have a bad day and play your way out of it on a Thursday. I mean, we say all the time you can't win it on a Thursday, but you can lose it.
That's fair. My whole thing with John Rahm is kind of this, but I'm going to then make an argument against my point here. But my thought process with a guy like John Rahm, and hear me out. So my thought process with a guy like John Rahm is if he's going to come in the top 20, he's probably going to win the tournament, right? If he's got his shit together and he's got his game going, he's probably going to win the tournament, right? To where there's guys like a Billy Horschel, where his best game this week probably gets him 8th, 7th, 9th. You know what I mean? To where it's John Rahm. If he brings his game and is in the top 20, a lot of times he's going to win. However, the last 10 majors, he hasn't won a single one of them, and I think he's been in the top 10 of about 7 of them. So that goes against what I'm saying. But for me, my thought process on those guys is if they've got their shit together, they're more than likely going to win this sucker.
And I think there's other spots we could play Rahm at as well to get more value.
I think he's a wait and see. You let him play the first 5-6 holes. There's got to be some effect of this 2-week layoff. We don't know how much he was playing. There's just so much unknown to take a guy at those numbers. There's so much unknown when there's so many great golfers out there, right? I mean, Rahm is a good one.
Rahm was going to run away with it, like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, 6 strokes he was going to. So that's why it's like, all right, let's wait the first couple holes. Let's watch his front 9. If he shoots par, 1, 1, 2 over, grab him.
I agree. So yeah, that's a fade spot for me.
Let's go with guys that we are gonna, not necessarily guys that we're fading. Why don't you give me like 3 guys that you got, and then I'll tell you if I have them, and then 3 that I have, something like that in the top 20.
Okay, top 20 wise, I do like. I got 175 odds on him. What do you think about Casey?
He's like an automatic, I feel like, at majors in that top 20. I like it. I just got too many other guys to where I said, all right, Casey will be the one I stick away. He's got a good putter, though.
That's what kind of drove me to him. That I saw 175. I'm like, shit, that's good odds.
Other thing with Casey that I took into account is he doesn't have as much. Same thing with JT. They don't play that Farmers Insurance Open. They don't have as much exposure to Torrey Pines as a lot of the other guys on here. There was a lot more rounds. There's a lot more stats, a lot more experience at Torrey with some of these other guys than Casey. So I like Casey. You're probably going to be in the ballpark there. But I do not have him on my list.
All right, give me one of your guys.
Kokrak, 188. I think it's easy. He plays very
right now.
What's that?
250 right now.
Okay, I've got him at 188. I think I also maybe even have him in the top 10. I love Kokrak. The last time we saw him, he won. I take him all the time. He's a big boy. He plays the hard courses well. He plays well at the Farmers. He plays well at the Genesis, which is a great comparable course to Torrey Pines. It's another Southern California course. Max Homa won. We love Max Homa this week. But Kokrak, absolutely love. I think he's a top 20 lock. The way we loved Oost in the top 20 at Kiawah, I'm willing to stick my neck out on Kokrak in the top 20.
So, yeah, we're locking that one in because I had him on my list at plus 250. Like you say, he's a big boy. I don't think he's going to struggle that much with the rough. I mean, he'll struggle just like – so we got to think this is U.S. Open too, right?
Yep.
Nobody's going to go super fucking low because that's just kind of what history tells us. I don't think you're going to see and actually I need to look. I don't know what the number would be as far as what score wins the tournament, but I don't think it's going to be super, super low.
I would be willing to bet it's not lower than 2 or 3 under. And Kokrak's a top 10 putter on tour, by the way. Forgot to throw that in there.
I was just about to say that, so I got the stats in front of me here. He's 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10th in strokes rating putting. So
that is what I do. I hit the number on the head.
That's kind of gathered me to him today when I was checking it out. All right, so yeah, we definitely got to lock him in. All right, another guy I like. Let's see. Let me pick my spot here, and you just actually mentioned him. I like Oost.
Yeah, you can pretty much pencil him in at the
He's
majors.
Number 2 strokes gained putting on tour, right? I mean, he just always seems to get it done too. Like,
he does. His number's so low, but you almost have to do it. He plays well in all the majors in the U.S. Open, and he plays well at Torrey Pines. I believe he came in. No, not Torrey Pines. It's the U.S. Open last year. He came in 3rd, but he competes at Torrey Pines as well.
So I got him right now. He's plus 179. Like I said earlier, too, we'll probably end up talking a little bit more after the show here, and I'll get a graphic together, and we'll kind of settle in on exactly everything we're going to give out, because we don't want to stray anybody or, we say one thing here and don't give it out. So wait for the official card tomorrow, I guess. But right now you kind of got us just giving some analysis. Outside of that, let's fucking go Indians. They're up 6-1. Got it in live wires parlay with me and him, so that's good to see.
Nice.
Wrecking Baltimore. I love it. All right, so who else you got? Do you have Oost as well?
I do have Oost. And then the next 2 that I have are 2 guys that I'll be honest with you, I've been staying away from recently. but they're just kind of major tested. They both have great course history at Torrey Pines. In fact, I'll mention the one is Adam Scott. His last win was at
That's good.
the Farmers 2 years ago. He plays very well. The harder the conditions, the harder the course, the better for Adam Scott. If it becomes a birdie fest where the winner's 10, 11, 12 under, that's not a tournament that Adam Scott's going to win or compete in. However, if we're talking that this sucker's going to be 1, 2 under, and you've got guys that are finishing the top 20 at 8, 9, 10 under, over, Adam Scott, I love his odds to be in there. And the next guy that I mentioned with him, same exact thing. They're both, Rose is the other guy. Top 10 putter on tour, great course history, seems to show up in the majors, has kind of had a little bit of a down year, but 2021's come around and he's been playing a lot better. I actually have an outright ticket on him. I think I got him at like 7,600 or something stupid like that. Yeah, I got it a little bit ago. But I like both Rose and Scott to finish in the top 20. And those are two guys that I haven't been the biggest fans of recently. But this tournament right now, this course, I like them.
So I got all hyped up when you said Scott because he was like one of my favorite top 20s that I had wrote down here. Rose, I had wrote down. He just, oh God.
He'll either miss the cut by 100 strokes or he'll be in the thick of this thing till Sunday.
No shit.
That's Rose.
One other guy, I'll give out like two more here. Tyrell Hatton.
Yeah.
Dude, I got him at plus 137. To me, at top 20, the way that guy's been playing, I don't know how you give me plus odds.
Last week, I was looking at his stats. He was minus 3.5 strokes to the field in putting. If he would have just been minus 2 strokes to the field, which is very difficult to do, to be that bad, he wins the tournament by 3 strokes. That's how bad he was putting and how great he was ball striking. Tee to green, ball striking off the tee, and then tee to green. He was by a mile the best player on in the field last week. He should have won that tournament by 5 strokes.
So I think you and I kind of learned.
I've got him top 10, though.
I do too. So I think you and I kind of learned a little bit of a lesson on the PGA with Phil playing so well the week before, then kind of falling off.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I was with that. I'm like, dude, I mean, he just played really, really well. Just like you said with the putting, kind of, back a little bit. But I mean, to get plus 137 on him right now, I think to me that was just like that's a lock and load one, man. That might even be like a bigger unit play for me.
I would be very okay with putting a full unit or 2 units on him in the top 20. I've got him at he's plus 300 in the top 10, and I really like that.
Yeah, so I got him plus 320 in the top 10. That's another one I really liked. I do like Hatton a lot this week. Another one, and I know you love this guy, so I'm actually kind of curious to see where you're at on him. Leishman.
Leash doggy, don't have him.
You don't have him. Okay.
I do not have him. He's just kind of one of the odd men out. He's been playing a little bit over his head, I feel like, so his odds are now reflecting that. I've been put in that position with a couple guys, Abraham Answer, but I got to keep riding him, and we're going to this week. We'll talk about him in a little bit. But Leishman is kind of just an odd man out for me this week. He does have a good course history here, though. And he does play majors well, man. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't be shocked, and I can't fault anybody for any Leishman tickets this week. I obviously wouldn't take him outright, but I can't fault anybody for if they have any leash dogs.
Yeah. I mean, and actually I was telling someone on Book It earlier, I'm like a value hunter, right? Even with my baseball props, like when I go look for pitching props, I do really well on them, but there's some that like some people will be like, how do you not have this guy? How do you not have this guy? When I see the strikes and I run my own models and projections, right? This stuff takes me 2-3 hours a day. I didn't really get to do too much today because I've been so busy. But like I took Vladimir Gutierrez for the Reds yesterday, right? 5.5. I had him projected at like 5 Ks, and 6 Ks was plus 218. I'm like, that's one more, man. If this kid goes 6 innings, he's probably going to get it or he's going to be real close. Right? So I a unit on him. He hit it yesterday. That was freaking awesome. But I'm a value guy, right? So when I'm looking at all the lines, yeah, Rom to me is a no-brainer. He's going to be top 20. And if we're doing like a pool or something, cool. So a lot of you guys are probably like, how come you don't have this guy? How come you don't have this guy? You're looking for value here. You can't just drop, just like we told somebody earlier here, Rom at minus, what was he? Minus 160 or 200, whatever. There's no value there, right? Guys like Hatton at plus money or Cockrack at plus money, things like that. That's where you guys want to get your value. What?
You called him Cockrack.
I always call him Cockrack, and I know it's I know. All the time.
You got any more T20s you like? I got a bunch.
There's none I love. I do kind of like Webb.
Okay.
75.
I've got him top 10, and I've got an outright on him.
Do you? I don't know if I go outright. It wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, 50 to 1.
Shit, yeah, I'd do that. I'd be down with that.
I want to run through a couple of my top 20s that I really like real quick. First one being Sam Burns. Been playing great golf, incredibly volatile, which we like in these tournaments. He was also in the final pairing at Torrey Pines in January. Did not have his best showing, but very easily could have won this tournament. Patrick Reed ended up winning the tournament, who we like. We'll have him. We'll get to him in a little bit.
Yeah,
but Sam Burns played this course very well, and he played Riviera well as well. So he fits the course mold. We're playing on, how do we say the name of the greens? Poana greens. So what Poana greens are is they kind of grow throughout the day, so they bud, right? So it kind of makes your ball jump up and down a little bit. The players don't like it at all. But it makes the course slower throughout the day, and it makes your ball a little bit bumpier, right? So you got to kind of adjust to that. He seems to play well on the Poana greens. And then another guy right in that same mold that I would borderline put, I want to put a lock on this one, but Max Homa is going to finish in the tops 20. Plus 275, put a full unit on that. He won the Genesis, which was at the Riviera. You keep hearing me mention that course. He has played well in the past at Torrey Pines. He's familiar with the course. I like Max Homa a lot. Ride the Higo train. Got him in the top 20 plus 225. I love that dude, and I've been right about him. Another guy with great course history and is also one of the best drivers and putters on tour, Ryan Palmer, plus 400. Love him in the top 20. And give me your thoughts on this one. This one for me is just 1,000,000,000% value.
I swear to God, if you say his name, I'm going to lose it.
I know who. Yeah, it's Matt Wolff.
Okay, I mean,
you can get him plus 750 in the top 20. He came in second in the U.S. Open. He was built for U.S. Open. He's a bomber with power that can get through that rough. He's been trash, but he took time away. We've seen it a bazillion times when they take time away and they work on themselves, whatever the hell he's been doing. They come back. For me, I don't know what the heck to expect out of him, but he's like 225 to 1 to win this goddamn tournament. And he's 750 to finish in the top 20. For me, that's just – so, like, when we talk about value, here's exactly the point we're talking about. Like, to take Rahm to win the tournament at 10 to 1 when you could, at almost the same price, take Wolff just to get in the top 20? Like, come on. Which one are you leaning there, right?
I mean, I didn't even – that's a great pull, dude, because I didn't even come through that one.
Who'd you think I was talking about?
I thought you were going to say Bryson. I was going to smack the shit out of you.
No, but let's talk about him real quick.
No.
Let's do it. No.
Don't.
No, we got to get this off. We have to talk about this because it's really important. If this course turns into Winged Foot last year, Bryson's going to win it. You got to live bet him at that point. So keep very close attention to him, because if that course is ridiculous where it's borderline impossible to hit fairways, you got to bet Bryson. He was literally built for this tournament.
Transition to top 10 or something and start talking about Bryson. I was about to lose.
No, I've got 3 other top 20s. I took 12 top 20s. The other one, just because he's the hottest driver on tour right now that nobody realizes, and it's Jonathan Vegas. plus 400 in the top 20. He's also performed well on the Poana Greens and Torrey Pines. He, like I said, his driving accuracy and distance, strokes gained driving, he's the hottest on tour this year that nobody even realizes. Number 2, right behind him, and nobody's really talking about it, Sergio Garcia. Major tested, major built to play in the majors. He's actually been good this year. He played well 2 weeks ago at the Memorial. He is plus 275, throw a quarter unit on him in the top 20. And then, you know who the hottest putter on tour is right now? Crickets.
No, I could. Spieth?
Ian Poulter, plus 275 in the top 20.
Poulter?
You see it all the time, these guys, like these names, these battle-tested, major-tested, experienced guys. You see it all the time where it's like, Charles Schwartzel stinks. How is he in 3rd place right now? How did Zach Johnson come in 4th place to the U.S. Open last year? You see it all. Phil Mickelson won the PGA. Right? You see it all the time. Take the experience, guys.
I don't mind Sergio. It just, dude, I swear to God, every time I take that guy, he burns me.
Really? That's usually the opposite. I usually pick my spots right with Sergio.
Because I know he got us in the Masters. Like, he totally screwed us up in the Masters because I think we had him top 20. I think. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I did take Sergio at the Masters.
What about Gary Woodland?
I like him, but another odd man out. He fits well for the course, though, and he's plays well in U.S. Opens. He won Pebble Beach, which is somewhat of a comparison to this course. I do not have him, though. He's too volatile for me without the winning upside.
Yeah, he's plus 275. That's, like I said, I thought it was decent value. I already had Burns on my list.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of stole my thunder with that one, and then I had Homa. I didn't have Wolf though. That's a great pull. I like that one a lot, actually.
Yeah, Wolf, and then the only guy I didn't mention that I have in my top 20s is Bubba Watson plus 350.
I'd love to see that, man, because he hasn't played good in a long time. I mean, like consistently.
Correct. He's had his flashes this year, and his driver's been very good. So if he can keep that thing dialed in, he'll be in the thick of it. I actually have an outright ticket on him too. I think he was 175 to 1.
That's not bad.
There's some stupid odds out there.
So one guy, question mark on, just because I think he can power through the rough okay. And I love this cat. Well, Finau's even money in top 20. So I don't know that I love that one. I mean, I do kind of love that just being even money. I think that's an easy unit win. I mean, I could hammer it like I did in the Masters, but I'm probably not going to. And then another guy that's kind of like his, we talked about it, his almost mirror image is Cameron Champ. I don't like him as much. Just
Cameron Champ stinks.
He can't putt. Yeah, he can't putt worth fuck.
He can't do anything besides hit the ball far. He can't hit it straight. He can't hit it where he wants to.
He can't help in the rough, right? When you get it in there, you get powered out of the rough. I mean,
he stinks.
Yeah, I'm not as big as.
I think he might be the worst putter on tour, and that's not an exaggeration. I think he might be the worst putter on tour.
He could be, because when I was looking earlier, I didn't even see him like probably in the top 50. I don't think when I was like browsing around.
I've got Finau in the top 5, but what I did here was like I didn't want to focus on top 5, but what I did was took 4 guys in the top 5 that I'm prepared to at any second pull a live bet trigger on, right? So it's guys that I'm like, they are one of few people, because it's going to take a certain skill set, I believe, to win this tournament. There's only about 10 guys that got that. These 4 names are guys that have it. It's just I'm waiting to see, and I'll be ready to pull the trigger on them live at any moment's notice. I'll rattle all 4 of those names off real quick.
Wait till we get there. Don't get ahead of the top 5.
Finau's in the top 5.
Yeah, I got him top 5 too. I do actually really like Finau on this one. Just he's got to get his putting kind of a little bit better, because I know that's kind of where he kind of lost at the Masters a little bit, except the 18th hole where he won me a good amount of money, where he putted it off the green.
If you went purely based off of strokes gained across the board, the last, I believe, 5 tournaments at Torrey Pines, Tony Finau's number 2 strokes gained. So his course history could not be better here.
Yeah, I mean, I think it sets up okay for him. I mean, we know he can hit the shit out of the ball, and he's a fairly accurate driver, so he should stay away from the rough a little bit. And even if he's in it, he's got the power to pull through it, and he's a decent putter, so I think it does set up well for him. So it kind of sounds like we got a lot of top 20s kind of between us. As far as like both of us have the same guys. So we'll have to pull that card together. We'll get it out tomorrow. Top 10s. I mean, top 10s, you get to top 10s, it's pretty much all value, right? You're not going to find too many guys. Actually, on Heritage, there's nobody not even money or better, right? I mean, you got so many players in the field is what it is. I think we have to talk about it just because he's going for the Grand Slam. He just won the PGA. Where do we like Mickelson?
We don't.
I don't either. But I don't want another hot take clip of us sitting here saying we don't like him, and then he comes through and places top 5.
Well, here's the deal. He was going into Sunday at the PGA with a 1 or 2 stroke lead and was still plus 1,200 to win the goddamn tournament. If Phil Mickelson's having a good weekend and we really want to bet him at that point, live bet him. But do not waste any of your money on him beforehand. And Phil Mickelson's been rightfully partying his ass off for the last month. He has not been playing much golf.
I saw that. I was like, dude, he's just living it up.
Yeah, no, as he should be. What's that?
Has he played?
Yeah, he played in the Memorial 2 weeks ago and looked like shit.
That's what I thought. See, I didn't get to pay too much attention to Memorial because I was partying my ass off in Vegas.
Yeah, you and Phil both.
Right. So let's see.
I think I have 2 top 10 locks.
Dude, I went and took Logan to his golf lesson today, and I think I tweaked my back hitting balls. I feel terrible. I got my golf trip next weekend, so I need to go to a chiropractor or some shit. Or find someone that does like Reiki massages. If you know any good Reiki massages here in Cincinnati, drop me a fucking comment, please.
Give me credit for not making any jokes.
All right, top 10. I'll rattle off a couple names. We talked about Hatton. He's plus 320. I really like that one. He's actually one of my more favorite guys in this one. I think 320 is great value. And then another one I really liked. Try to figure out my favorite one of these. Rama's plus 100. I don't see much value there. I mean, you could drop a unit if you want, but I think kind of like you were saying, if he gets in the top 10, he's going to have a shot to win it, and he's probably going to be top 5, which you got a lot more value there. Another guy who I liked last time, Dustin Johnson. I think I'm kind of – it almost feels eerily similar to the Mickelson thing going into the PGA. Great start the week before, falls off the last couple rounds, and it looks like he kind of found something there in that tournament. He had a bad couple rounds there at the end. But I think Daniel, I'm from Cincy. One dude over here is from Philly.
I'm just wearing a Dennis Rodman jersey because he's a fucking badass.
Dennis Rodman was badass. The Last Dance is the best fucking documentary ever.
Yeah.
I like Hatton plus 320. I do like DJ at plus 160. There's not a tremendous amount of value there, but
I like DJ outright. I've got him in outright this week.
I do too. Him and Hatton are. I feel like I have them all over the board. Another guy I like, and I think we might have just talked about him, Patrick Reed's plus 250.
Yeah, he's the guy with the best course history too, by the way. He won here in January. He is always in the top 10 at Torrey Pines. He plays the majors well. He's a big game hunter. I think he's going to be a wildly popular pick this week. with outrights. I think he's like kind of the value guy that everybody thinks, but they're not really getting value there because it's 2,500. You'd like to see Patrick Reed closer to 3,500, but I can see why people are going to be betting Patrick Reed. I've got him in the top 10 at plus 200. But yeah, Patrick Reed's got by far the best course history too.
Give me a couple of your dudes.
My lock top 10 that I'm just absolutely obsessed with, and I love this guy, is Daniel Berger. He is 3 in course history. He is in the top, I think he's number 2 in strokes gained putting on Poana greens. This course and these greens fit his game to the tee. He plays Riviera well. I believe he was in a playoff there last year. I could be wrong on that. I think I am wrong on that as I'm saying it. But Daniel Berger, another guy that I just love. He seems to always be there at the end of tournaments. I have an outright ticket on him at 54. I think his value is stupid at those numbers. But Daniel Berger plus 400, I would put a unit on him in the top 10. I love Daniel Berger. I'm willing to take that. I'm willing to put my reputation on Berger. Berger plus 375. Oh, that's you.
I'm going to try to see if I can post odds that way. That's actually kind of a good idea.
I got him plus 400. And then the other one that I think is a deadlock in the top 10, course history, Poana greens. He's going to win a major eventually. It could be this week. It's Victor Hovland. He's going to be in the top 10. He's plus 250, which I actually think is a pretty good number for him if I'm keeping it real.
Yeah, that's exactly what I have on him, and he's another guy that I got on here too.
Keep your eyes peeled for him, possibly outright as well. He, like I said, he's going to win a major. It's just when's it going to be? A lot of times I feel like they've got to bleed, is the way I always say. They got to come close, have their heart broke, or just whatever the case is. They got to come close. You don't just go win majors. But Colin Morikawa proved that wrong last year. So
yeah,
keep your eyes peeled on Hovland.
Actually, let's talk about Colin. All right, I think we both love Colin. We love his ball striking, but I'm not in on him this week. Are you?
Well, see, here's the thing. If he can just putt even -1 or even with the field, he could win the tournament, or he does win the tournament. If he can putt even -1 or even with the field, he's guaranteed to be in the top 10 just because he's so good at driving the ball accurately and hitting his irons accurately. Playing out of the fairway this week is going to matter. So Colin, I can see it because he's been as bad as anybody with the putter, and you're not going to go into Torrey Pines and U.S. Open conditions and start fixing things with your putter, right? But that's literally exactly what I said about Patrick Cantlay, and he finished in the top 10 at that major in the PGA, and then he won his next start after that. So I'm going to be honest with you, it's kind of a FOMO thing here with Morikawa. I only have an outright on him. That's it.
Yeah,
I'm a top 10 guy with Morikawa. I only have an outright.
Okay, yeah, and I think you and I talk about Morikawa all the time. I'm obsessed with the kid. I love him.
If you had to pick one guy that you said every week for the next 10 years, I'm going to throw a unit on one guy to win a tournament for the next 10 years. At the end of the 10 years, I guarantee you Colin Morikawa is the guy who would make anybody the most money.
I'd still throw it on Tiger Woods when he comes back. Anyway. No, I agree with that. And I love the kid, but I think that would probably be the way to go is to just play him outright because I could see him missing the cut in this one, to be honest with you. But, we'll see.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Let's see. Finau, we got plus 250. I like that one on the top. I already went over Hatton. You hit Berger. I had that one wrote down.
I've got Answer, who's just a top 10 machine. My boy, plus 300. I still think that's a good number in the top 10.
Hazen, we got a 400. Kokrak is plus 600. I think that's a solid one as well. There's a lot of value in the top 10.
Homa 700.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about Wolf. I think he's
14.
16.
16. See, that's insane.
Yeah.
And if he has his game, if he's even remotely close to what he was last year, that's the easiest $1,600 you can make if you put a unit on it, depending on what your unit is.
His swing is so wild.
Mm-hmm.
I
but it's
still
built for the U.S. Open. He's literally him and Bryson are built for this tournament.
I hate Bryson so much.
Real quick, one other guy I have in the top 10. He fits the course really well, and what I mean by that is I was looking up the statistics on. They have statistics at rough at certain lengths, so 4 inches and above are where these statistics are measured at. And Matthew Fitzpatrick is in the top 20 on both out of the rough and out of scrambling out of the rough on the greens in 4+ inch rough. So because of that, and because he seems to play well on the tougher courses, I've got Matty Fitz at plus 350. I've had Matty Fitz 450. Oh, I had him at 350. I've been on him a little bit lately, so it's kind of riding my guy. But I think now's a good spot for him.
He's a guy I had on my top 20 radar because I had him at like 187. I didn't feel like that was enough value. But, yeah, at 450, he's another guy I got wrote down.
Mm-hmm.
We're kind of on the same wavelength there. I mean, kind of – I don't think Paul Casey's bad value either at plus 400. And we talked about him a little bit. So
yeah, I don't think that's a bad pick. He always seems to be there in the majors, man.
Yeah, he does.
I like him.
I mean, you like Justin Rose. I didn't really, like I said, I teetered on him a little bit, but I've ended up kind of faded him. You got him at plus 400 here in top 10 if you want to take that. I know. What do you think people are going to be on Zalatoris? We haven't said his name at all.
He fits the course well. His metrics are all great. But with where he's priced versus, you know what I mean? He's getting the same price tag as a guy like Colin Morikawa or I think that's a bit of a stretch. He's getting the same price tag as a Hatton, as a Berger, as a Reed, as those guys, or a Hovland. And it's just like, man, I don't know.
Ahead of, or he's plus 330, Hatton's plus 320. So, I mean, that's kind of your comparison there.
And I'm a big, like I've said, prove it. You got to bleed. And he just seems to just always be there in the majors. He finished top 10 the U.S. Open last year at Winged Foot. He was top 5 at the Masters. And I'm pretty sure he was top 15 at Kiowa this year. So, I mean, he's kind of made me look dumb a little bit to an extent. And it's just another kind of one of those situations where you can't take every single guy, especially at the top of that board. So you got to pick your guys who you're going to unfortunately stay away from. And for me this week, it's the Matsuyamas, it's the Zalatoris, it's trying to think of some other guy, JT, unfortunately, who everybody knows how I feel about him, but I do have a future on him, so it's easy for me to say that. But he just doesn't have enough course history, and his putter's been brutal. So you can't really take JT. But at that number, he's like 25-1. How do you not take JT there, right?
I mean, I'm not really on JT this week. I'm not really on Spieth this week either.
I am. Yeah.
I mean,
he's still the hottest player on tour.
He is. And I do have a play on him outright and top 5, but it's nothing like I'm hammering. But I mean, it's great. I mean, go ahead and move to top 5. I'll just give that one out. I got him plus 375. I thought that was really good value. For just like you said, he's one of the hottest players on tour right now. So I liked him a lot. I got Rory plus 375. Rory's another guy I like a lot this week. I don't know how you feel about him. You don't like him? I can tell by your face.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I can tell by your face. You either really like him or you hate him.
If I had to pick one guy, it'd be Rory.
That's where I'm looking as well.
I think Rory wins this week.
No, he's well overdue too.
Mm-hmm. You know, he hasn't won a major in like 6 years.
Dude, has it been that long?
It was the PGA Championship at
yeah, I guess I'd probably what 13?
When they finished in the dark. Yeah, I think it was 2016. So it's been about 5-6 years. It's been. Man, let me look it up. It's been way too long.
Yeah, it's been a long time, but I mean, he's undergone some struggles, but he seems to finally be getting his game back a little bit.
Yep. What other Wow, no way. It was the 2014 PGA Championship.
I said
Holy
13.
shit.
I knew it was close. Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. He hasn't won a major in 7 years.
Yeah, because I remember
Is
watching
that?
that. I remember being at my old place watching that. That's wild.
That is crazy.
Well, and you got to think too. That's when the PGA was the last one, right at the end of the year.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the Open
Yeah.
was before it.
Yep.
Yeah, the PGA
Man.
was like one of the last tournaments played.
Yep.
That is
Wow.
crazy. But Rory does have good metrics and everything at this court at Torrey.
Well, too, he's one. If his putter gets hot, I don't think anybody will touch him because I think he's got the rest of his aspects of his game. If they're just average and his putter gets hot, I think he can run away with this by 5-6 strokes.
I very much agree with that.
So I like Rory plus 375. Spieth, I got in there plus 375. Finau's plus 450. I'm cool with that one. Hatton is probably my favorite top 5 play because it's plus 850. And he's another
that's
guy
great value
that I liked a lot. Hell, you drop, quarter unit and still win, over 2 units on it. So I think that's absolutely great value there.
Yep. For me, I've got 4 top 5 plays, and they're all just guys that I, for one reason or another, was afraid to pull the trigger on outright, but I'm ready to do so at any moment's notice. So I'll go through those names real quickly. Finau plus 400. Finau's obviously just the top 5 machine. Can't get it done as far as winning, so I probably may not take the outright on him.
He's going to get it done at some point. It's going to happen.
I don't know. You either have it or you don't. He doesn't seem to have whatever it is. He doesn't seem to have it.
But man, what's going to happen with him? What could happen? He just finally hits it, and then the dominoes are falling.
That could.
It's just that first one.
Xander Schauffele plus 335. It's his home course. He's one of the best putters on tour. His metrics and his course history at Torrey Riviera are all excellent. The one thing for me that's holding him back is he's the hometown kid. He's coming home to win the U.S. Open, his first major championship at home, all that shit. That's a lot of extra pressure. I'm ready to pull the trigger on him live at any second if I have to. But I've got him in the top 5. I can see him being right there at the end like he always is, and maybe losing to Jordan Spieth, Rory McIlroy, Dustin Johnson, one of those guys. The other guy, it's just he won his last start. Is his putter going to be ready to go? If it is, he's going to be in the top 10 for sure. Even when he was sucking ass, his metrics, tee to green, driving were all very good. He just couldn't hit a putt. When he hits a putt, he's got good enough shit to win. It's Patrick Cantlay. Don't think he wins back-to-back events, but I think he's got his game. I do. And I think he's the bad guy that we all have been missing. Him and Patrick Reed. Who the bad guy? Patrick Cantlay is going to be the bad guy this week. Plus 400. Throw a quarter unit on him. Be ready to bet him live if you have to, depending on the number. He can go low at any point. If that putter gets hot, he can go low. Love the volatility. And then my last one's just Wes's boy. If this course is tough, Bryson DeChambeau wins it. And it's not tough in the sense of it's obviously going to be tough because it's a major. If it's unfair. Last year, Winged Foot was way out of line. You can make the rough punishable when you hit it, but it has to be realistic to hit a fairway. It was not realistic to hit fairways at Winged Foot. Everybody was playing out of the rough the entire way. That is why Bryson DeChambeau won. If that happens again, unfortunately, Bryson DeChambeau is probably going to win. You got to be ready to pull the trigger on him. The only problem kind of with that is we're not really going to know the answer on the course on what it's going to be like until probably Friday afternoon. We'll get a better test.
Saturday morning, yeah.
We'll get a better test of what it's really going to be like Sunday, and we'll know that answer. If he's already got a 4 or 5 stroke lead, that's big trouble because there's no value on it. You got to hope he collapses. But here's something else that I think is absolutely a factor. He won that U.S. Open last year, and there's 2 very important things that were the case for that. Brooks Koepka was not in the field, so there's that, and fans were not there. Bryson DeChambeau is an absolute head case, and he's shown that more in the last couple weeks than he ever has. The fans very much get to him, and you know that they're going to be the Brooksy shit. They're going to be on his ass all week, and he's invited. He's brought that upon himself 1,000%. And I would not be shocked if that gets in his head. I mean, it's the professional athletes, but I swear I think that shit matters to him.
It does to some people. I mean, some people it gets in their head. Some people it doesn't.
So all those top fives, I just went quarter unit bets on because they're really just like hedge bets, prepared to let's go get them live if I have to.
All right. So one guy I do want to throw out there. So let's just go ahead and move to top. We'll go back and recap all these because we still got to get our official card out. So we'll go ahead and move on to the winners. Let me pull up the winning odds here. So I think we're both. It sounds like we both love Rory this week.
Yeah, I got Rory 2,100.
Yep, he's down to 16.
I thankfully got him at 21.
Dustin Johnson for me is another one I really like. I think I mentioned that earlier. He's plus 1,400 right now. He's a second, tied for second favorite. Bryson's 1,400 right there with him. You got anything on him?
On who's that?
DJ.
Yeah, I've got an outright on him. When he's got his game going, man, it doesn't really matter what course. He's going to be a threat, and he's going to be in the thick of it. He showed us last week, like you already mentioned, that he seems to have his game going. He's got his form back. He had 3 pretty bad holes last week, which took him out of the tournament. Other than that, he played well. And kind of things that I look for when I say things like that are 2 times that I can think of right off the top of my head on Sunday, he hit a ball that could not have been more dead right at the flag, but he flew it by like 6 yards. So it's the wrong club, right? So he hits a great shot. He's feeling it. Just pulled the wrong club. So now all of a sudden you're off the green, you're chipping, you make bogey when he probably could have stuffed and been a birdie, right? Or double bogey. That's a 3-4 stroke swing on just picking the wrong club. Now, again, that could happen again this week, but my point behind it is he's ball striking very well. He's back in last week. He looked like the Dustin Johnson of last year. That was all I really needed to see to say, give me him at 15, because had he won the tournament last week, he's probably the favorite at 10-1 or 11-1. Or has he been playing well the couple previous tournaments at Memorial? He's probably, again, 10, 11-1. So getting him at 15-1 is honestly, it's pretty good value for DJ.
No, I agree. And I think, like I said earlier, I think we kind of learned our lesson with week prior, having a couple good rounds or something like that with Phil. I mean, he came out the week before the PGA, 2 good rounds, then faltered the next 2. So I think that's kind of what happened with DJ. It's almost like a mirror image to me. So I'm like, okay, I got to get on him. And DJ is my guys too. So another one, and I don't think we've said his name except when we were talking about Bryson, Brooks Koepka, plus 1,500.
That's low.
That is, I thought that was low too. To me, there's not that. I mean, there's value. It's 15-1, but I expect him to be right around with. I mean, JT's plus 2,000.
I've got him at 19-1. I was gonna say I've got an outright on him too, just
okay.
He's my favorite golfer.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. I do like Brooksy a little bit. I mean, it's like
how you don't take him in a major.
Like we said earlier, I mean, there's going to be a lot of sprinkles here on the top 5s and to win. That way, if you think about it, we could take 10 guys here at top 10 and put a quarter unit on each of them, and one of them hits, we're still up, right? So that's kind of how we structure everything.
You need 2 or 3 top 20s, a top 10, head to head, and you're profiting, and then you throw a winner on that, and you got yourself a 20-unit week.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, you could go 6-40 and still end up 7 units or 8 units, whatever. One guy I did like, and I think I've mentioned his name 2 or 3 times now. I thought there was good value is Oost plus 4,000. I think there's a good little sprinkle there, 40-1 odds. I mean, you drop a quarter unit, you're going to get 10 back. Give me some of your dudes.
I've got Rory 21, like we mentioned, DJ, Spieth 19, Brooks 19, Webb Simpson 50-1, Berger 55-1, Morikawa 22.5-1, Rose 66-1. And that was it. And then I've got my eyes waiting live for Lowry, Todd, Connors, Billy Ho, Kuchar, JT, and Xander.
So we're fading Rom pretty much everywhere.
I have a $1,400 Rom ticket, and I bet Rom to win one of the 4 majors. So I already have Rom just from betting previously.
That's where I am with Spieth. I think I got Spieth to win a major at 1,900, so I always forget to kind of give him out.
Yeah. So it's like it's going to be awkward for me, like if I don't give Rom out, but then I'm like cheering for him on Sunday if he's one of my, like, you know what I mean? Because it's like, yeah, I vested interest in him, but
right,
he's not one of, you know what I mean? That 1050 number is tough for me, dude.
Well,
what I would do if I'm you guys, your mate Nate, my buddy on there who's giving advice out, if you grab Rom and then like a -200, -300 on just some stupid, just grab yourself some silly odd, you can boost Rom's 1050 to like +18. So that's a way to kind of boost up that value a little bit, and that's what I'd be looking to do. Or wait for Rom to shoot even par on day one, let his odds slide back to 15, 16, bet him.
That's kind of what I was going to go for, because I do like Rom, and he's actually the heavy favorite. I mean, right now in Heritage, he's +800. DJ's
That's insane.
DJ's +14.
That's
so. I mean, you got 8-1, and then 14-1 is the next, the second guy. So I think with Rom, your best thing to do would probably be, I hope he comes out Thursday, doesn't do all that great, but still kind of hanging around, get his value down to 14, 15, and then go ahead and live bet it. I think that's probably the way to go with him.
And I've said it 1,000 times, the guy who jumps out to the hot lead on Thursday basically never wins the tournament anyway. So if he ends up going out and shoots 600 and he's in first place Thursday, he's probably not going to win. So just stay away from him. Well, you saw that last week with DJ. You saw it a couple weeks ago at the Byron Nelson with Jordan Spieth. You literally see it all the time. Whoever's in first place at the end of the first round, borderline never wins. And the reason is because everybody's going to kind of have that low round, whoever's going to win. It's those other rounds, those other 3 rounds, you got to make sure you're shooting even, 1 under, 1 over, things such as that. You can't have your 6 under, then 3 over. It's not going to win you the tournament.
Well, that's why the odds get so crazy on going wire to wire. I mean, because that just flat out doesn't happen, right?
It's borderline impossible.
Yeah. So let's see. I'm trying to think of anything else that I loved here.
I've got 2 real quick tournament full head-to-heads that I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
Now, there's a disclaimer I'm going to give out with this because this is how dumb I am. But one of them is Homa over M. All right. That's -125. The other one is Burns over Streelman. That's -120. Now, I'm not sure which one of these this is, but the reason I'm taking one of these 2 is, well, I like Homa and Burns, right? But the other reason I'm doing it is because on Thursday, either Homa or Burns tees off in the morning and the counterpart tees off in the afternoon. So that means on day 1, let's just say Burns is this example, right? So Burns plays in the morning on Thursday. Streelman plays in the afternoon on Thursday. Obviously, the mornings are easier to play. The afternoons are easier. Well, that flip-flops on Friday, right? If you play the afternoon on Thursday, you play the morning on Friday. If you play the morning on Thursday, you play the afternoon on Friday. Well, how many times have we seen somebody after the first round? Because, like, what do we say all the time? Wes, you say this all the time. You can't win the tournament, but you can certainly lose it, right?
Yep.
So how many times have we seen a guy have a bad Thursday afternoon and withdraw? Or have a bad Thursday afternoon and book their plans out for the weekend? They pretty much already got Friday tee time packed in their minds. They're just trying to get through it and get out of there. So this may be the slightest, dumbest edge ever. But if I can get a guy who goes out and plays Thursday morning early and is feeling good about his round coming off the course Thursday, and then he's playing head-to-head against a guy Friday who just went and played Thursday afternoon, got the shit kicked out of him, and is now all dejected coming to the U.S. Open on Friday, Torrey Pines, waiting to get the hell back out of there. My point kind of is, I feel like Streelman or M could be in a position where Friday is totally mailed in for them, to where I don't think that'll happen to Homa or Burns because they're playing the morning. Does that make any sense at all?
I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, it makes sense to me. There's such a difference that can be that can exist when you play early versus late, and then you got to turn around and kind of flip it the next day. That kind of sucks for some of them.
I mean, it sounds crazy, but I mean, I don't know if every golfer and gambler is as fragile brained as I am, but like golf is the most mental sport in the world. So any little positive, negative thought, anything at all, I don't care if you're a professional athlete or not, I feel like that's going to mess with you a little bit. And if I got the slightest edge of one guy being like, you know what, I'm going to go fuck these dudes up on Friday, and one guy being like, dude, get me through Friday and get me the hell out of Torrey Pines. You know what I mean? Let's roll.
So here's a head-to-head that really caught my eye. And I think this is a stupid line, personally, just because we talked about him a few times already today. Rory versus John Rahm. Rory is a plus 145 underdog. Like, I get it. John Rahm could be up there, and Rory could miss the cut. We've seen how he played off on this year. I think that's, again, I'm a value guy, right? I think that's a great value pick.
I agree.
The funny one that popped out to me, and I wish to God these two were paired up, was Brooks and Bryson.
You see the story that supposedly Bryson and his agent said, no, we don't want to be paired up? I'm not buying that.
Bryson's agent said that?
There was a story that came out saying that the USGA reached out to Brooks and Bryson and the representatives. Brooks was cool with it, playing with Bryson the first two rounds, but Bryson and his caddy said, no, we don't want to do it. But Bryson's agent came out after that story came out and said, that is not true at all. Nobody called us and asked that, which I believe. I don't think the USGA is calling asking people opinions.
Yeah, I don't think so either. That would actually that's like one of the featured ones on Heritage, right? Is Bryson versus Brooks.
Every book is going to have that.
Yeah. I didn't get to dive into head-to-heads too much. Just scrolling through kind of what I saw earlier. There was trying to find it here because I didn't even have time to write it down. Answer. There was Answer over Cam Smith plus 105. I like that.
I like that.
That's pretty much the only two I was really looking at and liked.
Those are all the names I have. Keep an eye out for Hovland live. He could win the tournament.
Yeah, I like Hovland. Yeah, I can't. There wasn't too many other ones that I was really, really wanted to get on. So
those are all the guys I got.
So we'll go through and kind of summarize everything, and we'll get a card out tomorrow on the app, and everybody will have time to get your picks in, Wednesday evening, and get ready to go. Keep an eye on my account and T's account. You see our usernames here at the bottom of the screen, below our ugly faces here. Book It Sports. Follow us. We'll probably give out some live bets for the tournament. I'm riding. I keep getting sidetracked because I'm watching this Reds game. Castillo's pitching freaking awesome right now. He's been terrible.
If there's anybody on this app that thinks the Sixers are losing to the Atlanta Hawks, you're high. I built that up so much. But the Sixers aren't losing to the Hawks. I'm sorry. I love it. Chuck. Fuck you, Chuck. You're done. Sixers and 6.
So let's see. Winterwire and I got a parlay. Winterwire and I got a parlay together today. So we had Reds money line in it. What else? We have Mets money line and Indians money line, and then Padres minus 1.5. Padres are currently up 4.
That's tight.
Mets are currently up 1. It looks like.
Oh God, are you guys gonna win? You just
Indians are up 6-2.
This is bullshit. Everybody's winning besides me.
I need my fucking Reds to pull through here. They got a guy. It's 2-0 count, bottom of the sixth. Brewers got a guy on third.
Rory DJ Spieth. That would be tight.
Oh, gun to your head. Who you got?
Rory.
Same.
All right, I'll go DJ then.
That's my dude. You can't go DJ.
That's your guy.
I know. I like DJ. When it's not Tiger, it's pretty much DJ for me.
If JT or Rom win, it'll be so like bittersweet.
Yeah,
Because I'll have action.
I'm in the same boat with Spieth. Like I said, I forget to give out a bet on him 90% of the time because I already have him in a major. I placed that back in January and I think got like 19-1 odds.
I gotta fix this camera.
You gotta fix a hair, bro.
Look at how big my forehead is.
All right, man. I think anything else we need to go over?
Nope, that's all I had. I'll be live tweeting or messaging on Book It and my ass off all weekend. NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs, but most importantly, the U.S. Open. And I'll be golfing Friday and Sunday, so maybe we'll get some good videos out of that.
Hey, I'm golfing Saturday.
Nice.
So hopefully, my game's been a little rough here. Hopefully, it comes back to me a bit. I'm going on my golf trip next week. My cousin's talking a bunch of shit. So I need to get my shit together, man.
Nope.
Might have to send you some videos to give me some tips.
You don't want any tips from me.
Oh man, well, Reds just got out of the inning. That's solid. So I'm gonna hop on here, sweat this shit out, and hopefully hit this parlay. And I don't know. Be happy.
Go Birds.
Yeah. See, I don't watch NBA, but I'll be rooting for your Sixers, I guess.
Yes, go Sixers. And any Eagles fans that have season tickets or going to the games, get in touch.
Yeah. So I'm actually thinking about going down to Vegas for the Bengals game, which I'm actually extremely excited about.
That's pretty cool. We're going to be doing some of these film rooms like at Lincoln Financial Field.
Yeah, we can do that shit.
Because, well, that's where I'll be in the mornings on Sundays.
You going to be tailgating?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to the opener for the Bengals game.
Who do they play? The Vikings?
Vikings, I think, yeah.
How do I know that?
I don't know how you know that. But probably because you're paying attention to my team to fuck with me.
Is it probably? But that's an NFC team. I can't believe I just hit that. That was weird. Yeah. It just popped into my brain. Cool. Bye, buddy.
Next week for do some fantasy shit.
Yeah, I got to get that camera fixed because this phone shit's not flying with me.
Your connection got a little bit better there at the end. So
nice.
All right. Catch us on Book It Sports. That's all we got. Enjoy the U.S. Open. Deuces.
Much love.